This is the Tornado V4 Flagship Edition, and this is the Weilong V10 Spring 20 Magnet Ball Core Edition. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a bunch of solves on both. I really like both of these mid $30 cubes, and so let's get right into it. We're going to be doing averages of 5 on each cube to see how we like the cubes and to see how our times vary on the cubes. Well, my times vary on the cubes. So I'm going to be doing 5 solves on each cube, one at a time. I already did some warm-up solves to hopefully get rid of that. Let's go right into it. Okay, I did get a 1244 starting out, so that's pretty good for me. And the left side, at least my left, the red side will be for the Tornado because of the red logo, and the right side will be for the Weilong V10 because of the blue logo. I will note too, I did a live stream earlier today of PLL bingo, and the one thing that I could not get was a Z perm, and I did just start with a Z perm, so that's unfortunate. Or maybe it's fortunate, we will see. Okay, looking like a bit of a lucky scramble here. Again, this result, or not again, but this sample won't be perfect, but it's just to give us somewhat of an idea. We're going to see how it affects the times as best as we reasonably can tell. Okay, let's see, I'm looking for that piece, it's going to be right there. Okay, 4. Okay. We did find the piece eventually. Okay, that was a little bit of a worse solve at 1743. And that finishes our first average of 5 on the Tornado V4 for the video. Our first average of 5 on the Tornado V4 is a 15.21. So now we'll be swapping to the Weilong V10 for an average of 5, and we'll be hopping over to this blue session. Starting off with a really good solve on the Weilong V10. Random moves, like when I don't see the next, I don't know what the next move is, instead of continuing just spamming random turns. We go 1594, and we misrecognized, and we end with a PLL skip on an 1813. Oh, that is a disappointing solve. Okay, the Weilong V10's first average of 5 is going to be a 1498. So we're going to go back to the Tornado V4, and we're going to see how that goes. Currently, my main is the Tornado V4. It's not my favorite log, but we finished it nonetheless. Got a 1290. Oh, 1025. That stuff could have been a lot faster. Oof, I don't know if I've ever taken so long to recognize an H perm. I was thinking it was a T perm for a second. Solve first, I guess. Oh, let's skip. Oh, I'll skip with a 1979. That's unfortunate. So what I did is I built an X cross, and there actually was a free pair after that, but I got so excited by the additional free pair that my X cross, or the cross, was like turned off one, and I did not fix it. Lefty fast scene, what a nice algorithm. You go right now. Finishing that would have been smart. We would have been done. 3 more solves here. Let's see, yellow looks pretty nice. I'm just trying to look for it. Good cross. That solve felt good. Just like I kind of get rid of that, but then it protects still nuts. Almost thought I was going to be a PLL skip for a second. 1121. 1440. Okay, oops, this average of 5 for the Tornado V4, the fifth average of 5 is going to end at a 14.53, and the average of 12 is not sub 4 or sub 14 anymore, it's now up to a 14.07. Back to the Weilong V10 to see how it compares this average of 5. Nice, that felt like a well-executed solve. The solution wasn't perfect, but I think my execution on it was reasonable. For the fourth Z-perm of today, 1325, which ends the average of 5 off at a 13.97, sub 14. And the average of 12 sits at a 1383. Now back to the Tornado V4. A 13.66 for the sixth average of 5 on the Tornado V4. The average of 12 sits just above 14. On to the Weilong V10 to even things out here. And right off the bat, we get an amazing solve. 1, 2, 3, move across with a free pair right away. Oh, dang it, I thought that was going to be the sub 10. $12.55. Oh, that was almost a sub 10 there. 129. A little bit of catch due to some sloppy turning. Okay, Tornado V4 ended that with an average of 5 of 13.48, and the average of 12 sits at 13.78. 11.62. Weilong V10's popping right now. Let's see, I think we can do something with it too. And a 13.14. That was one of those solves. That was 3 or 4. That was a X cross, free pair, a free pair. Maybe was it another free pair? Or it might have been a normal pair. I'm not sure. But that was a really lucky solve. That was one of those solves that you could definitely get a PR on if the execution was a little bit better. So the Tornado V4, our overall mean in 35 solves was 13.79. The Weilong V10, the overall mean was 13.89, so the overall mean was 0.1 slower. But I will say a 0.1 difference in only 35 solves of an average is almost negligible. Weilong V10 did have, I believe, 2 +2s. I think that alone would skew it, so I think they're pretty close. I don't think it's fair to say that the Tornado V4 is better just because of that. The Weilong V10 wins the average of 12 with a 12.93 best average of 12 versus the Tornado's 13.32 best average 12. That is a semi-significant difference, though again, most likely due to a little bit of deviation because the solves were so few. At some point I might do a more in-depth video with hundreds of solves on each. V10 times were slightly slower overall, and I did have more bad averages, as you noticed, especially towards the beginning, but I also did have more good averages towards the end. So my main conclusion here is that the Weilong V10, for me, personally, I tend to either have better averages for myself or I tend to have worse averages for myself. So for me, the Weilong V10, I kind of tend to, I think, based on this session at least, I think I kind of tend to get caught in a funk where I feel like I can't get out of it, or I'll kind of get a couple good solves and I'll just keep going through and feeling good about it. And the Tornado V4, I think that overall it's pretty good, and I think I'm slightly more consistent on it and less likely to get a +2, though I did consistently mess up some solves too, but usually it wasn't quite as bad, so it's more clustered towards the center. So it kind of depends on the solving experience that I'm going for, I suppose. If I'm going for a single or some really good results and I'm trying to push it, but I also don't mind getting some really bad results too, then I'll probably use the Weilong V10. If I'm safely trying to get into the next round, or I'm just trying to get a good result that I'm happy with, but maybe not going for a record, then I'll probably use the Tornado V4. But again, those are just my thoughts based on these few solves, so we'll do more testing going into the future. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to leave comments down below. I'll answer them, and I will see you guys next time.